The Logitech G series of wheels are very likely the most popular wheel sets in the market, and for very good reasons. It spans 4 different generations and also 6 different models. Because they are so popular and because of the advent of 3D printing, some companies have provided solutions for either maintenance or new feature sets for these wheels. One of such company is 3D Wrap, and 3D Wrap contacted me asking if I wanted to check out some of their 3D printed solutions for the Logitech G series. Of course, I said yes, and they sent a couple of goodies. One of them is a rubber for the brake pedal of the Logitech G series. And the other one is also very good and very interesting, which is a 3D printed solution, a magnetic shifter 3D printed solution for the Logitech as well. The first mod we have here are the magnetic shifter pedals, and there are 3 versions of this. There's the G25, the G27, G29, 920, and 923, and there's also an extended version. This one specifically costs 1990 with VAT, and this is in euros, and of course you'll have to pay for shipping and handling. There's basically 3 parts to it, plus all the necessary trimmings, so we're talking about bolts and nuts. And then the next mod is this one over here, which is the rubber stop that you would put inside the coil of your brake pedal. There are 3 versions of this specific rubber. There's the extended version and the Rally and Formula. The Rally is the middle one, the Formula is the hardest for your pedal. So basically you put this inside the coil and it will give you extra stiffness. We're gonna do the install on the 923 instead of the G25 because the G25 has a smaller girth here at the axis. So that means you can't really use the other one. I wanted to give this to my friend. I will still give this to my friend, but unfortunately I cannot use it on his wheel. The install is pretty simple. It's just connecting both parts. I did put a little bit of glue inside, just a little bit to keep the rubber in place. Before installing, let's check out the sound the shifter makes. It's not bad, but something is missing. So what we're gonna do now is install the new piece. Once installed, and it shouldn't take you more than 2 minutes to do all of this, you'll have a very different shifter. Not only is far more immediate in the shift, it requires substantial more force. The only thing I'm not too sure about this installation, because I didn't receive any manual, didn't see any manual indications, is this small nut over here. It's supposed to go on top, but when I use it, it just doesn't stick there. Doesn't do anything. There's no way to put this little nut. There's a small insertion on the back, but it's not big enough to put on the nut, which means I cannot tighten if it's necessary. So it's staying here and it doesn't seem to go anywhere. So I'm not too sure what's the idea behind this little nut over here. For the next mod, you do need to disassemble everything. It will take you about 20 minutes in total because there's like 14 million little bits and pieces on this pedal set to disassemble. It's interesting to see that this new G923 has a progressive spring. So it's oriented this way, you press it and the coil becomes more and more compressed, giving you a progressive spring approach to your brake pedal. But this is not made for that. This little rubber is not made for this progressive spring. We can still try to adapt it. Not too sure how it's gonna feel. I think it's gonna be very, very stiff. We'll see if it works. Okay, the result is not quite as I expected. It doesn't fit on the G923, unfortunately. I've tried it both ways. This barreling does not fit. It's not the same thing. Progressive spring versus one that it's not progressive and uses the bump stop. But we can still try to insert it, you know. After what I can describe as probably the most grueling installation that I've done in sim racing thus far, this pedal set is not supposed to use that specific rubber, but I did install it. It required me to disassemble more things, including the base, so I could install the rest of the spring because there was too much force in it, and it barely moves. It's very, very hard and progressive. I'm not too sure if this is gonna handle the carpet because I'm not gonna install this on my rig. Maybe in the next time. In the software, just to see how the brake pedal responds, I think in terms of feeling, it feels really good. This is not a rubber that was made for this spring. It works. The installation process is a bit fiddly in this case. It still works, but maybe they will be releasing a new version for this. I think the pedal feel is amazing for a potentiometer. It is super, super smooth and progressive. I can't really get to the top because I'm not hard mounting this, and the spikes will topple the pedal set. And I'm using this on a caster wheel seat. I do have quite heavy equipment behind me, so it means it won't move a lot, but if you install these mods, make sure that it's either hard mounted or you have something that is more fixed. Maybe change the caster wheels to something else. Coming out of the box, the first thing that I notice is definitely the shifters. Makes you think, why are not more companies using this on their products? It's such a simple mod. It just gives you that confidence of shifting. It's just a, engaging click. It's click, click, click. There's no in-betweens. It's fast. It is super crisp, and it makes you like shifting in this thing. It doesn't have any like a rubbery feel or a springy feel. It's just engagement and disengagement. I like that. From pretty much all the mods that I've tried for any specific thing, I think this one is my favorite. They have a Fanatec Esports one as well that I'm definitely gonna buy for myself. Absolutely, man. I love this one. Now, as for the pedals are gonna be a tricky one. The way that I'm using this, it's not supposed, I think, because, the pedals, like I've been saying, they're not made for this specific rubber, even though they told me on email it could be used, but the progressive spring, it did not engage very well there. So I believe the rates are a bit too high for this. It makes the engagement quite hard, especially when I'm using this on a carpet. I needed to increase the gamma quite a lot to make sure that I would have enough sensibility down low. Whoa, I do not have any confidence on braking on this because of where I'm driving at the moment. It doesn't mean it's a bad mod, quite contrary. In terms of feeling, it's superior to the one that was already here on a G923. It's just not for this specific circumstance where I'm using this with with a chair that has caster wheels, and I'm using this engaged in a desk. I think in this case, if you are in that circumstance, you do need to change at least your caster wheels. There are options. I have a video about the options that you can use on office chairs, and at the very least use a wheel stand. You need this not to topple over. I don't have any confidence in this circumstances to engage the brake. It either kind of feels that is too weird, engaging the wheel too much, or the brakes too much, or they are not sensitive enough, and this is because of the gamma that I'm using. So I had to make a choice, either very low engagement point and not enough sensibility on the top because I wasn't using enough force, or I have a very low engagement point and then at the top it engages quite quickly. So I had to choose low-end sensibility to high-end sensibility. So I had to choose the low-end sensibility because I would prefer to break, you know, to not to break at all. No, but I like the feeling in terms of how the rubber feels here. It is very good. It is smooth, it is progressive, but they need to change it for the G923. In terms of recommendations, I would definitely recommend the shifter. The shifter is a no-brainer. It's a massive upgrade, and I believe for the Fanatec CSL F1 Esports will be the same thing. No-brainer. It's 100% recommended. As for the brake, it really is gonna depend on where you have it. If you have on a wheelbase, yeah, sure, or in a rig, definitely. If you are using it in the same circumstances that I am at the moment, maybe with the, not with the G923, but maybe with the G25, G27, or with the G29. It might increase your braking force a little bit too much, but regardless of what they are and the prices they cost, yeah, very good products. Here you have it, guys. I hope you found the video informative. Thank you very much to 3D Rep for sending these mods for review. If you want to buy anything from them, the link will be available in the description. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like, consider subscribing, and hitting the notification bell so you'll see new videos and streams as they come out. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.